All right, guys, let's have a seat and we're going to start lying on our back. All right. Yeah. All right. So just start lying on your back. Walk your shoulder blades together. Make sure the top of your pelvis is against the earth so it feels like your belly button is snapping to the earth. Take your arms, palms up beside you, and just extend your legs nice and long. And let's just center ourselves in this Shavasana pose. So I want you to feel the earth beneath your head, beneath your shoulders, beneath your hips, beneath your heels. Feel the earth just supporting you. And as you breathe, slowly you're going to inhale through your nose by expanding your rib cage. And then exhale very slowly so that it feels like the end of that exhale is deep within you. And there's a little silence at the end of that exhale. And then carefully, gently, you're going to inhale again, really slowly. Imagine you're drawing the energy up to the crown of your head here. And then again, slowly through your nose, you exhale. And in this place, we place our intention for the day. To find some quiet, to know when to speak, and make sure our words reflect a positive light so that we can find calm in the chaos, the light in the darkness, and not get caught up with any ugliness, and look for the good. Take one more breath in through your nose. And out through your nose. And slowly, slowly open your eyes. I want you to draw your right hand toward your chest. Now you might want to bend your left knee and step your left foot to the earth, or you can keep your left leg straight. It doesn't matter. As you exhale, I want you to take your shin towards your chest and just get a nice stretch in your hip flexor. And then as you inhale, you're going to slightly release your thigh bone away from you. Exhale, a little closer. And inhale away from you. So notice how you move with your breath. You release any stiffness in your nervous system. And then you can move it in through it, right? Exhale. Hug your thigh bone in. And inhale, release. And exhale. Hug it in. And inhale, release. Good. Let's take two more just like that, really slow. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. Now I want you to roll your ankle. Just roll your ankle one way. Yeah. Notice how that affects your hip. Yeah. And then roll your ankle the other way. Just get the gas out of there. Good. Now I want you to point your toes. Really point so you feel it all the way up your shin. And you're going to flex your ankle and widen your toes. Okay? And you're going to point. And you're going to flex. And you're going to move with the breath. Exhale, point. Inhale, flex. Exhale, point. Inhale, flex. One more time. Really hug your thigh bone in now. Really hugging your shin. Last time, flex your ankle, hug your thigh bone in, and then release your right leg to the mat. And just kind of notice, definitely notice your right hip, your right leg, how that feels. Now you're going to take your left knee in towards your chest and give yourself a hug. And again, you can bend your right knee or keep your right leg straight. Exhale, hug your thigh bone closer to your chest. And then inhale, release. Exhale, hug it in. And inhale, release. Exhale. Good. Inhale. 2 more times, just like that. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good. And inhale. Now you're going to roll your left ankle one way. And if you can feel it, imagine it then, that's all the way up into your hip. But it's really important to get that movement in your ankle. And now you're going to roll your ankle the other way. Yeah. Also get it right into your knee. Good. Yeah. Okay, now you're going to point your toes, really point, and flex. Widen your toes when you flex your ankle, right? And point your toes and flex. Oh, yeah. And point and flex and point and flex. One more time, last time. Really big point, really deep flexion. Oh, yeah. Then take both your knees into your chest, give yourself a hug. Just roll right and left so you feel your knees. I'll alternate your knees hugging into your chest. Good. And then you're going to roll to one side or the other and come all the way up to seated. Good. And sit with your shins crossed, sitting up tall. Good. Sit up real tall. Then you're going to take, hope you can see me. Then you're going to circle your arms up and start to lengthen the sides of your body long. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Imagine if there's a rope and you're pulling that rope down and you're pulling it down. Oh, yeah. And pulling it down. Reach and pull and reach and pull. Good. Reach. Now take your right hand to the right of your body and reach nice and tall. Lots of side bends today. Yeah. Inhale back to center and all the way to your left. Keeping your right hip grounded, your left waist forward. Really mindful, right? Yeah. Inhale to center. Exhale to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale to the left. To center and to the right. To center and to the left. And all the way back to center. And take your hands to your lap, sitting up tall. One more thing, I want you now to take your fingertips first to your shoulders and just get some nice shoulder circles here. Circle your shoulders. This is really good for your shoulders. Yeah. And then you're going to circle your elbows the other way. Yeah. It's different. Yeah. All right, now we're going to start getting into our spine a little bit. So I want you to take your hands to the back of your head, interlace your fingers and take them to the base of your skull, lengthening the sides of your body long. And as you exhale, you're going to round your spine and take your elbows toward each other. And then inhale, open it up. Really scoop the bottom of your heart forward and lift your chest up to the sky, a little back bend. And then exhale, round your back. Squeeze your elbows toward each other. And then inhale, open it up. Yeah. And then exhale. And inhale. Open it up with the back bend. Good. And exhale. And inhale. Open it up. Oh, yeah. And come back to center. Notice how that feels. All right. Now you're going to draw your shoulders down your back. And now I'm going to invite you to take the soles of your feet together here. We're going to start getting into our hips a little bit more. If you can't bring your feet close to your hips, take your feet a little further forward. That works, right? And then you're going to take your thumbs inside your feet and kind of open your feet like you're opening a book. And then release your feet back together. And then open the soles of your feet. The pinky side edges of your feet stay together. And then you're going to close and open. And now you're going to get your thigh bones a little closer to the earth. And then keep your feet open and find a nice roundness in your back as you come forward. Just get a nice little stretch in your low back. Don't force anything. Just see where you go and breathe into that. Okay. And all the way back up to center. Now circle your arms up. I know it's weird, but you're going to take your left hand to your right knee, sitting up tall, and just get a little twist here. Inhale back to center, circle your arms up, and you're going to twist the other way, taking your right hand to your left knee, and kind of pulling your knee back to get a nice deep twist here. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale to center. And twist to your left. All right, now we're getting a little deeper. Let's just take one more right and left to the right. Inhale to center. Oh, and to the left. And come back to center. And kind of lift your knees up and widen your feet so that your feet are wider than your hips and your feet are on the earth. You can take your hands behind you. And you're going to drop your knees first to the right. Ooh, feel how that feels. Keep your left thigh bone pressed towards the earth. And then you're going to come back to center, keeping your feet wide. And then you're going to drop your knees to the left. So make sure it feels like one heel, or my left heel's in front of my right knee, right? Now, if you want to go a little deeper, you can come back onto your forearms and press your thigh bones right and left. Your left thigh bone will not come to the earth, but you're going to press it towards there and engage your belly, right? Inhale to center, exhale to the left. Either you're seated or not, doesn't matter. Inhale and exhale, really press your left thigh bone down. Inhale to center, exhale to your left. Now your right thigh bone presses down. Let's take one more right and left. Inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. And come all the way back to center. Come all the way up if you came down. All right. So now you're going to extend your right leg out to the right and take the sole of your left foot, your left heel, high up into your ground. Now I was sitting to my left, but now I'm going to sit up nice and tall, right? My right leg's out to the right. My left heel's up in my groin. Keep your rib cage aiming forward so your right waist is going to come forward. If your left thigh bone is high up off the ground, put a block or something under your left thigh bone, okay? Sitting up tall, press your thigh bones down, your right heel down, and then circle your arms up, reach, lengthening the sides of your body. Good. Now you're going to take your left hand to the earth and reach all the way over to the left. Get a nice stretch. Nice. Then inhale back to center, and you're going to bend your right elbow and take your right forearm or your right hand inside your right thigh. You're going to press your arm bone back to roll your right waist forward. And then maybe you'll take your left arm out to the left, up to the sky, or over to the right and just get a nice little stretch here. Exhale into it. Inhale slightly out. Exhale into it. Up. Inhale out. Exhale a little bit deeper, like you're reaching your left hand towards your right toes. And a little bit out of it. And come a little deeper. Yeah. And then use your core to come all the way back to center. And you're going to take your left hand out to the left and slightly forward. Because what you're going to do is come onto your left shin. So you can take your right hand in front of you and just kind of lift your body so you're on your left shin. Now, if you want, you can take your left shin behind you. Good. And you're going to lift your right leg up. Maybe you'll take your right arm up to the sky, maybe over your head. But I want you to see if you can squeeze your knee towards your elbow and extend. Good. And squeeze, get into your core and into your hips and extend. And exhale, squeeze and extend. Good. We're going to do it 6 times. 6. Take a break if you need one. 5. Your shoulder blades are hugged together, slow. And 4. Good. And 3. And 2. Good. Last one. Now, I'm going to invite you to bend your right knee and maybe reach towards your right foot, or maybe grab your right foot or your right shin and just get a nice stretch in your right quad. Press your foot back if you're holding it, or your shin, and then bring it in with your hand. Lift your thigh bone, find a nice breath here. Oh, yeah. And then extend all the way back out and into table pose, hands and knees. Oh, yeah. Notice how your right side feels. All right, now you're going to soften your chest so your shoulder blades hug together and lift your belly, right? And let's take some hip circles here in between right and left. Good. Exhale, just find the rhythm of your breath. And inhale. Oh, yeah. I can feel things getting in order. Last time to the right. And then one more time to the right. Okay, and now you just come to the left. We're only going to do the left a few times. Just get a few real big hip circles here. Good. All right. Make your way back to table and then come to seated once again. You could even draw your knees into your chest and give yourself a hug here. But we're going to go right onto the left side. So extend your left leg out to the left as far as you can, doesn't matter. And step your right foot pretty high up into your left thigh, into even your groin. And I want you to take your hands to your rib cage and roll your ribs forward. Got that? Sitting up tall, press your thigh bones down to lift up tall. Good. And then circle your arms up, get into your core here. Take your right hand to the earth and reach all the way over. Get a nice length in the left side of your body. Imagine each muscle between each rib is lengthening. Oh, yeah. We're not going to get stuck, right? And then inhale back to center. And you're going to take your left elbow and bend your left elbow. And take your left elbow and forearm inside your left thigh, your shin, wherever it goes. And then press your elbow back to roll your left waist forward. Yeah. Now you can take your right arm wherever it goes, out to the right, over your head, or towards the left. Doesn't matter, but whatever you do, you're going to exhale into it and inhale slightly out. And exhale, come a little bit deeper, and inhale slightly out. And exhale. Oh, yeah. Inhale. And a little bit deeper. Oh, yeah. Take a breath here. Take another breath. And then inhale all the way back to center. And you're going to take your hand out to the right and slightly forward. because I'm always going to want your hand and your shoulder to be in line. And you're going to kind of roll onto your front right shin. Roll your right waist forward. Maybe make sure your right hand is in line with your right shoulder. It might need to adjust a little bit. Roll your right waist forward, and you're going to lift your left leg. Find a place for your left arm. Lots of options, right? And then you're going to squeeze your elbow towards your knee or your knee towards your chest, depending where your arm is, right? Exhale, squeeze, and inhale. And right into your core. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. Good. Exhale. And inhale. And 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and 3, 2. Last one. Now you're going to bend your left knee and reach towards your left foot. You don't have to grab it. If you grab it, that's fine too. Good. And then lift your thigh bone, reach your right waist forward. And this is really to get into your left quad. So press your foot back. If you're holding your foot, lift your thigh bone. Get a nice stretch in the left quad. So good for your knees. And breathe into that. Oh, yeah. And release and make your way to table pose, hands and knees. Now I want you to come into a narrow child pose. So your knees are parallel. Your toenails are on the mat. And you're going to take your hips back into a narrow child pose. Just reach your hips back. Maybe lift your armpits. Maybe lift your palms and lower your chest. And find a few breaths here. Good. Notice how you feel emotionally too, how it affects you emotionally when you move like this. Good. Now come back to table and widen your knees as wide as your mat. Take your big toes together and then take your hips back. And just kind of shake out your hips and release your forearms, your elbows to the earth and get a nice stretch in your low back. And take 2 breaths here because we're going to get into the next series. All right, ladies, back to table. And we're going to come right into down dog. So curl your toes under, soften your chest, lift your belly, and lift your knees up just a little bit. And then take your hips back. And then roll your bum up to the sky. You're on your tiptoes. And now you're going to walk your dog, finding the dog walk. So you're going to come onto your tiptoes of one foot and bend your knee of that leg and straighten the other leg, right? It's a walk. So you're reaching one heel to the earth and the other. Good. Check in with your breath. Check in with your dog. Okay, now I want you to come onto your tiptoes and come into a plank, but you're going to reach your chest forward, so it's kind of like a cobra. You're on your tiptoes, right? And then you're going to soften your knees, take your hips back, and make your way into down dog. See if you can reach your heels towards the earth. Again, come onto your tiptoes, round your back, make your way into a plank, even into a cobra. So you're going to get a nice stretch in your low back. Take your knees towards the earth. Back to down dog. Good. Oh, yeah. And then lower your knees to the mat. And extend your right leg in front of you, nice and long, flexing your front right ankle. Now, this is a great place for blocks. You know I like blocks here, Garrett Bros. So you're going to take your right outer hip back, right? And soften your chest towards your thigh bone so you get a nice stretch now in the hamstrings, right? Good, just find your breath. Imagine your right heel is stuck and you're trying to pull it back. Your ankle is not sickled. You're pressing through the ball of your big toe, right? And just take that all in. Good. Now you're going to step into your right foot. Take your hips forward and circle your arms up. Give it a nice back bend. Okay, and then all the way back. Exhale. Really get into that. Find your edge. And then inhale forward. And circle your arms up. Get that back bend. Good. And all the way back. Exhale. Let's take one more inhale forward. Get that back bend. There's no rush, right? Now this is the last time back. So you're going to go all the way back. Get your chest towards your thigh bone as deep as you get, finding your edge. Good. Now you're going to step into your right foot. Take your left hand out to the left and open your heart. Get that deep twist here. Lean back. Inhale. Exhale your right hand towards your left hand and start to soften your elbows towards the earth. Oh, good. And then inhale and open it up. You might be really impressed, again, that your hips are so flexible now because we got a lot of that stuff out. So just feel what that feels like. Maybe you'll go deeper than you usually go. 2 more times. Find that twist. This is for your thoracic spine. Make sure you're breathing. Exhale. The breath is extremely important, right? Last one, inhale, lean back. Now take your right hand inside your right foot, your left hand out towards the left. Curl your left toes under, lift your back left knee, and lift and lower your hips. So you're on the tiptoes of your left foot and all the way into plank. Good. Your belly's engaged. This is really important. Your knees can be either up or down, but your shoulder blades are hugged together and your hips are lower than your shoulders, right? You can even roll on your feet from the balls of your feet to the toes. All right. Then lower your knees. Lift your bum just a little bit. Walk your hands back about 2 inches. And you're going to slowly lower your chest towards the earth. Good. Now take your toenails to the earth and come onto your forearms. Right? We're getting a little deeper in our hips here on the right side first. Press your forearms down. Imagine they're stuck and you're pulling them back. And you're going to feel the engagement in your upper shoulders, your upper back, right? And then you're going to reach your chest forward and just lift your chest. All right? Good. I want you to feel that. And lower your chest. And one more time. Inhale, press your forearms down. We're stuck and reaching back. But now you're going to take your right knee, look to your right, and you're going to lift your right knee up towards your armpit, maybe to your waist. It doesn't matter. And you're going to take your hands beside your upper ribs. Like you're coming into a cobra, which is what we're doing. But we're going to do it with our left knee out to the left. You're going to lift your chest and lower. And notice how strong you are. Shoulder blades back. Lift your chest. Oh, yeah. And lower. And lift. Mm-hmm. And lower. All right, last time. Inhale, lift right into that hip. And then come back to table pose and into a child pose. Or you can even come into a Japanese sit, sitting back on your heels. Yeah, you should feel pretty loose by now. And breathe into that. Yeah. All right, ladies, back to table pose and extend your left leg in front of you, nice and long. And you might, again, want a blocks under your hands. Flex your left ankle, take your left outer hip back, make sure your hip points are square. And you're going to soften your chest towards your thigh bones. flexing your left ankle. Good. Then stepping into your left foot, take your hips forward and circle your arms up. Good. And all the way back. Exhale. And inhale. Oh, yeah. Back bend. Oh, should be even bigger. And slowly, with control from your core, take your left outer hip back. Soften your chest till you feel that nice stretch in your hamstrings, flexing your ankle. And then inhale forward. We're going to do that one more time. Finding your edge. Exhale. Good, and inhale. Nice. Now stepping into your left foot, take your right hand out to the right. Roll your right waist to the left. Find your twist, lift, and lean back. Exhale your left hand towards the right and soften your elbows toward the earth or onto the earth. It doesn't matter, but find your edge, right? Inhale, open it up. Exhale and close. 2 more times. Inhale. Really find a deep twist here. That's why we follow the breath, so we can take our time and find our edge. Good. 1 more time. Open it up. Oh, last time, close. Oh, yeah. Now you're going to take your hands inside your left foot, right? Soften your chest. Curl your toes under and lift your right knee. Lift and lower your hips. And if you remember correctly, we're going to go right back into a plank. Good. Lift your belly. Now lower your knees. Walk your hands back. Lower your chest to the earth. Good. And come into your Sphinx pose first. Forearms in front of you and parallel. Elbows are beneath your armpits. Press your forearms down and back and lift your chest. Really lift. Press your forearms back. You'll feel a nice engagement all the way into your low back, right? Yeah. And then lower. Inhale and lift. And lower. Good. Last time, inhale, lift. Oh, yeah. Lower. There should be no more gas there. But now you're going to take your left knee and just kind of slide it up towards your left waist. Take your hands back beside your upper ribs. And as you inhale, you're going to lift your chest with your left knee out bent beside you. And you're going to lower. Good. And lift. And lower. Good. And 2 more times. Lift. And lower. Last time, inhale, lift. Oh, so good. And lower. Now you're going to come all the way up. Come onto your knees. Your back and table. Set it up. Shoulder blades hug together. Curl your toes under. Take your hips back. Make your way into down dog. Oh, now you should feel really nice and warmed up and settled. Right. Check in with your breath. Now you can walk your feet to your hands or your hands to your feet, coming into a forward fold. Good. Nicely forward fold with those hips and the long legs. Good. Now you're going to bend your knees deep so your shins are forward, your bum is back. Everybody loves this. I know. You got to do this. It's good for your knees, your quads. You warmed them up. Good. So just kind of find a place for your hands. And then exhale and fold forward. Really deep, taking your chest to your thigh bones. Lengthen your legs a little longer if you can. Good. One more time, maybe you'll take your arms to T. Find a nice long spine, shins forward, bum back, pretty strong, right? Now lengthen your legs long, nice long spine. Press your feet down to come all the way up. Circle your arms up. Grab your left wrist and lift. Exhale to the right. Whoa. Inhale back to center. Lift your right waist and exhale to the left. It's pretty impressive. You don't realize it, guys, because we are always together. Yeah. Anyway. All right. Come to the front of your mat. Let's do a little bit of a flow before we finish up. So you're going to come back to a long spine. Notice how your shoulder blades are back. The top of your pelvis is back. You're nice and tall. And make your way into Utkatasana, fierce warrior. Good. And then find your way into your twist, keeping your left hip back. Or you can take your left elbow outside your right thigh. Yeah, your spine's ready, opening it up. Good. Inhale back to center. And twist to your left, however you choose to do it. And find a breath or two here. Very calm. Good. Inhale back to center. Now fold forward over those really long legs. Good, strong. Inhale, look halfway up. Your heart is forward, your hips are back. And then you're going to step back to plank. We're going to take a cobra together or an up dog. So you have to lower, come onto your toenails and lift your thigh bones. Come into cobra. No problem, right? And right into down dog. All right, take a breath. Make sure you settle everything up. Heels towards the earth. Now come onto your tiptoes. I like to step my left foot slightly forward and lift your right leg all the way up. Good. Exhale. Step your right foot forward. Walk your hands back just a bit so that your weight is equal on both feet. And come into warrior one. Yeah, nice hips, guys. Now let's do it this way. Take your elbows back. Make your hands into a fist. You're going to take your right arm forward. Roll your palm up. Roll your palm down and back. And come back. Keep your right hip back. Now the left arm forward. Roll your palm up. Roll your palm down. Take your elbow back. Now we're going to do both. Elbows, palms up, palms down, and back. And cook it up right for your shoulders. Back. Good. 2 more times and up. Stay tall in your spine. Good. Up, back. All right, last time. Up, back. Good. Now circle your arms up. You're right into warrior one with your nice warm shoulders and right into warrior two. So you're going to take your right toes out to the right, your right thigh bone back, long spine. Good. Take your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers with your palms up and a soft elbow to start with. And imagine you're pulling your elbows and your hands apart. Reach your heart up to the sky. Get that back bend. And now you're going to aim your heart towards the earth, towards the right. Take your hips back. Lift your arms up off your back. Release your head and your neck. And breathe really deep. Yeah. Yeah. Press your feet down to come all the way up. Back to warrior two. Take your right forearm to your right thigh. Press your forearm down to lift your right waist. Wake up your right side of your body and roll it forward. And then you can take your left arm wherever you like. And just take a few breaths here. Yeah, we're taking our hips out for a stroll. What can we do here? Breathe into that. Good. Now sit your bum back. Take your left arm down and start to straighten your legs and bring your left arm back up so that you're really into a nice triangle pose. Taking the back of your right hand back, rolling your right waist forward, Lengthening your legs long and breathing calm. Good. Good. Take your left hand to the earth, right hand to the earth, and step back to dog. Or you can take a half vinyasa if you choose. And we're back in down dog. Oh, yeah. Check in with your breath. Good. Now come onto your tiptoes. Stepping your right foot slightly forward, lift your left leg up. And then step your left foot forward, walking your hands back and right back into warrior one. Good. Hip points square. Now you're going to take your arms to cactus, but your forearms and your palms are going to draw back. You're going to get a little back bend. And extend your arms up and pull your elbows down. And extend your arms up and all the way down. Good. And up, and down. Good. And up, and down. Good. And one more time, up and down. Now circle your arms up right into your warrior one and be amazed at your shoulders. Good. And then all the way into warrior two, pivoting your feet so that your left toes are out to the left. Arms are in T, your spine is long. Yeah. Take your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers with your elbows soft, and then take your bum slightly back as your heart comes forward. Lift your arms up off your back and breathe into that. Good. Press your feet down to come all the way up, back to warrior two. Take your left forearm to your left thigh to lift your left waist and roll it forward. Stay deep in your hips and find a place for your right arm. You can take your right hand to your right hip, out to the right, up. Anywhere you do it is the pose. And just find a few breaths here. Good. Now sit your bum back, straighten both your legs, and roll your right arm up, lengthening both legs long. Find your breath. Good. Lengthen your legs, lean back. Lift your left waist. Good. And press your feet down to come all the way up, pivoting your feet parallel. Good. And now you're going to come halfway forward first. Make sure the outer edges of your feet are as grounded as the inner edges. There's a little softness in your knees. Your belly's lifted. And then you're going to come a little bit forward till you release your hands to the earth. Release your head and your neck. So good. 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 Now I'm going to walk my hands forward. I like to do this. Walk your hands forward. Reach your chest forward, but your hips are going to draw back as if my hands are on your hips, but your chest and your fingers and your hands want to press forward. You get a big stretch here. Oh, yeah. And then breathe into that. Then walk your hands back, heel toe, heel toe, heel toe your feet in. So you're in your forward fold. Your feet are hip width apart and parallel. Make sure you're standing on the inner edges as much as the outer edges of your feet. Press your feet down, come all the way up. Grab your left wrist and lift. Exhale to the right. Good. Inhale to center. Grab your right wrist, lift. And exhale to the left. And back to center. And release. All right, so now we're going to do a little balance. So you might want to have a wall behind you or something to hold on to. You're going to soften both your knees. You're going to take your arms to T. So this should feel kind of familiar. You're going to take your right arm under your left and either hug your shoulders or come into eagle arms, right? You bend your elbows, your palms are toward each other. Okay, so option 1 is to step your right foot outside your left. Bring your shins forward and your bum back. Or you can step into your left foot, lift your right knee, and just cross your thigh bones. And just see where you get. Your shins come forward, your bum draws back, and your elbows lift. Look at something that is not moving. That'll be very helpful. And breathe calm. That's also very helpful. Good. Nice. And all the way back to center. But now I want you to step your right foot outside your left. Good. Now your hip points are going to come to the right. I want you to keep your hips square. Soften your knees and start to fold forward. We're going to get a big stretch in your hips. You might want to take your hands to a block. So have a block nearby and just find that big deep stretch here. And breathe into that. Good. Press your feet down to come all the way up. And release. Oh, yeah. And then circle your hips. First one way. Yeah, and then the other. Okay. All right. And then stand up tall, shake it out. Arms to T. Now you're going to take your left arm under your right and either hug yourself, get a nice stretch here, or you can bend your elbows and take your palms toward each other. Soften your knees so your shins are forward and your bum sits back. That's going to be essential. You can step your left foot or left toes outside your right, and that's a beautiful eagle pose. Option 2 is to find your bearings with your gaze. Lift your left knee, cross your right thigh bone, and then find a place here where you can just be with a calm breath. So good. And you're going to step your left foot outside your right. Release your arms. Make sure your hip points are square. Circle your arms all the way up. Nice and tall. And then start to fold forward. Your spine is long, right? You're folding from the pelvis. And take your hands either to a block or to the earth. And find a nice breath here. Make sure your knees are soft. No hyperextended knees here. Breathe into that. Long breath. Press your feet down to come all the way up. Release your feet. And then make your way into a yoga squat. Yeah, finally, right? Nice deep squat. Your hips should be really warm. So you take your elbows inside your thigh bones and you hug your thigh bones in and your elbows out. And you get some muscular energy in your adductors, those inner thighs. Yeah, right into your hips. The quads, the hammies, everything nice and warm. All right, and then you're going to make your way to a seat on your mat. And once again, draw your knees to your chest. Give yourself a hug. Yeah. Now we're going to go from here, if you remember correctly, right into a boat pose. So you take the top of your pelvis back, right? And you can hold on to your knees. You can just lift your knees, and this is a beautiful boat. This is beautiful. But you can go deeper if you like. You can extend your arms and just find your breath, right? Oh, sure, it's not sticky. And just find your breath here. About 5 slow, deep breaths here. Good. Ooh, I'm getting some shake, shake, shake. And all the way back up, cross your shins. Sit up tall. I don't want you to come forward. Just sit tall. Release the musculature in your low back. You should feel a nice strengthening in your low back. Sit up tall. Take a breath. Yeah. All right, now you're going to come back again once again. But this time, we're going to go more into our transverse abdominals a little bit more. You're going to reach right. Option 1 is just to go right and left. You can hold on to a knee. Option 2, this is really fun, is take your right fingertips behind you and lift your left arm as you twist to the right. And then you can come back to center and you do the opposite on the left. Left fingertips to the earth, right arm up and back to center. And right. So you're tipped back. Your belly is back. There's a little C curve in your low back, right? Yeah. And 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2. Last one. And then roll all the way onto the earth. Oh, yeah. So lift your chest so you really feel your low back on the earth. Okay? When you lift your chest, it comes from your core. And then take your head to the earth, right? Draw your knees into your chest. Oh, notice the difference from the beginning. And then take some knee circles here, circling your knees away from each other. Oh, take some big full breaths in through your nose and out through your nose. So good. Good. Now you're going to take your left foot to the earth and cross your right ankle over your left thigh, opening your right hip. You got it, girls. Take your left knee into your chest and either reach behind your left thigh or grab your left shin. You can lift your chest as long as it's coming from your core and get a nice stretch here. Oh, yeah. So delicious. And breathe into that. You want to flex your right ankle and release your left ankle if it's available to you. And release. Good. Now you're going to cross your left ankle over your right thigh. And you know what to do. Draw your right thigh bone in and either grab the back of your thigh or your right shin and hug it in. Good. And breathe into that. You can lift your chest if you like, as long as it's coming from your core. And release. Good. Now extend your right leg up to the sky. You have lots of options here. You can take your hands behind your thigh bone, or you can bind with your big toe with your first 2 fingers and your thumb on the outside. Now you can extend your left leg long or not. It does not matter. It matters that you're breathing, right? And as you exhale, I want you to open your right hip, but keep your left hip on the top, the front of your left hip, and open it up until you feel you can't go any further without lifting your left hip. And just open it up. Just breathe there. On the exhales, Release any tension in your right hip. Good. Good. Now lift up your right leg back where it started. Take your right knee in towards your chest. Oh, bend your right knee and then extend your right leg. Oh, yeah. And bend your right knee and extend your right leg long. Press your heel forward and hold your hand back, right? And now you're going to change hands. You're going to take your right arm out to the right. Your left hand, you're going to take to your outer right shin. And you're going to find that lovely twist, taking your right leg over to the left. You're not going to necessarily land. You're going to roll your rib cage to the right, look to the right, and get a nice, ooh, lovely stretch here, right into your hip. And breathe into that puppy. Yeah. Then inhale all the way back to center, lifting your right leg up. And then exhale, slowly roll your right leg reach your right leg all the way to the earth. Oh yeah. Even here, you can notice the difference in your hips. So let's do the same on our left, shall we? You can extend your left leg all the way up. You can take your hands behind your thigh bone. You can bind with your big toe if you like. You're going to reach your heel forward, find your breath. And then you're going to open up your left hip out to the left, and we're just going to be there for a few breaths. And with every exhale, you're going to release any tension in your left hip. Keep your right hand on the front of your right hip so it doesn't lift. Find a few breaths here. Good. And then all the way back to center. Now you're going to take your left arm out to the left. Take your right hand to your outer left shin or thigh, doesn't matter. And you're just going to roll, come into that twist with a long leg, with control from your core, rolling your rib cage to the left, gaze to the left, and take a few breaths here. You can land, guys. If you want to land, land. And then inhale all the way back to center. Oh, yeah. Take your right knee into your chest and then extend your left leg towards your chest and extend. Bend your left knee a lot towards your chest and extend. Last time, bend your left knee and find an extension without hyperextending your knee. And then inhale through your nose. And slowly exhale through your mouth, releasing very slowly your left leg to the mat. Make sure your shoulders are together. Take your arms, palms up, just wide of your hips. And we're just going to take 2 minutes in Shavasana and take rest. Start rolling your wrists and your ankles. Inhale, circle your arms all the way up. Oh, yeah. Then draw your knees to your chest and roll to your right side. Just be there for a moment. Good. Make your way to a seat on your mat. And bring your palms together to your heart center. Setting your intention to catch yourself being negative, speaking negative words, thinking negative thoughts, and use your effort, your divine self, to be that light in the darkness, the calm in the chaos. The light in me honors that light in you. Namaste. I'm going to turn off the recording.